Hello, welcome to Wiser Biker. Today we have a entry-level road bike here, which we want to do a review on. It is the XDS RX200. Now, XDS is one of the biggest Chinese bicycle manufacturer. In fact, they are the biggest carbon fiber frame manufacturer in the world. So they are actually doing a lot of carbon fiber frames manufacturing for even well-known European brands, right? So they have their own product as well, and this is their entry series for road bike, and they have marketed it as your first road bike, right? Well, we kind of agree to that it is the perfect first road bike for most of the riders who are actually going to try road cycling. And let's go for a spin to find out more. Now, for people who want to start cycling, if you're considering to pick up cycling as a hobby or as a sport, I believe there are a lot of things to be on your mind or in your consideration. I mean, mainly the budget of selecting your first bike, as well as the comfort, and of course you don't want to compromise on the functionality of the bike as well. So I mean, if you have all these considerations, I understand you may want to really check out this bike, the XDS RX200, because it really got a lot to offer, given its very attractive and affordable price tag at a price of about $600 in retail price. Again, if you have done enough research, I think most of the bikes in the market starts with $1,000, but this one starts with $600, and you can still climb on the hill pretty comfortably with this, as well as on plain or flat roads. Now, the XDS, the RX200 uses the rim brakes, both front and back cantilever rim brakes, and it's made of WinZip. It's by the Taiwanese manufacturer WinZip, and it's actually very efficient. So I got no problem going down the slope or having a jam. The bike uses a Shimano 20. It's a 2x7 combination, means 2 speed in front and 7 speed at the rear. Now, this is a comfortable combination for beginners. You don't have much to toggle around, and yet it doesn't compromise on the functionality of it, the performance. Now, you got the shifter as well as the brake integrated into one system, and this allows the new rider to really experience the shifting and the braking of how it's like to shift and brake on a road bike with the drop bar. Another feature of this bike is that it comes with a full aluminum frame, so the weight wise is only at about 11.4 kg, which is a pretty good weight if you ask me. Well, if you want anything lower than 10 kg, you're going to be breaking a bigger hole in your wallet. Well, so I find that this full aluminum frame is pretty hardy, and it doesn't really compromise on the weight a lot. With 728C tires, this bike actually allows riders to ride on more different terrains, rougher as well. So if you are just starting your road riding on, if you just started cycling on the road, this 28C tire is actually very good. It can handle most of the humps, as well as all the drain covers with ease. No problem. The bike can roll as well as it climb. It can actually hit a very comfortable rolling speed of 20 very easily, even for beginners. And if you want, you can also go super fast. Woo! So what are the limitations of this bike, the RX200? Now, the first thing that we see from the spec sheet is that this bike weighs 11.4 kg. Now, while most of you, if you have done enough research, you have seen enough bikes, most entry-level bikes would weigh around 10 to 10.5 kg, but they also have a more expensive price tag, and that is they will cost you for about $1,500 onwards. So at $600, I think this bike with 11.4 kg is pretty fair. And to be honest, in my own opinion, I think that for beginners, the weight of the bike is actually less significant at this point of time. And if you cycle diligently for about 2 to 3 months, you probably can shave off 2 kg and you save $1,000. You know 2 kg from here? Now, second thing, the bike is not aerodynamic in its design. And if you can see, the cables are actually external. So personally, I do not really prefer external cabling because, aesthetics aside, practically, external cablings can be more susceptible to wear and tear as well as breakages. Lastly, is another point of convenience. Now, this bike do not have any quick release mechanism built in it. So both the wheels as well as the saddle adjustments, they are all not using quick release. So if you are thinking of transporting the bike in a vehicle, inside the vehicle, at times then it will be more difficult to take out the wheels, as well as if you are thinking of adjusting your saddle height and as well as your saddle tilt, then this is not too friendly. At this point, it's just a little bit of my personal opinion. The bike's aesthetic is not exactly considered a flashy or eye-catching, but it is a very humble looking road bike, and that's all I could think of. Very humble looking. One more thing about the limitation of this bike is that I personally find that the saddle is not totally comfortable. But I mean, these things about saddle is very personal. It really boils down to your seat bone and your own seat bone measurements, right? So if you find yourself not comfortable, like me, not comfortable riding or sitting on this saddle, my suggestion is that you can go to a local bike shop to get yourself a more comfortable, a more suitable saddle. So now we're going to dwell into more on the bike, the build quality as well as the components. After riding the bike for about 500 kilometers, here are my personal opinions and how I feel about this bike. Now, because the bike is not really designed for, it's not really a performance driven design, hence it allows the rider to ride in a much more comfortable posture. This bike actually has a full aluminum frame as well as aluminum fork, and making it very stiff and very strong to handle most of the road conditions. In fact, I have no problem riding in most of the roads in Singapore. And coupled with a 700x28C tires, they actually make it very comfortable to ride as compared to a 25C tire. So after testing out this bike, and my conclusion for you is, this is a very good entry-level road bike for those people who really are thinking of starting or picking up road cycling. And if you have a very tight budget, this is the most, I would say, one of the most affordable road bike in the market right now. And you can use this bike as a very good training tool to build up your muscle, your body, your heart, as well as to sharpen your cycling techniques and to get use of to really get used on riding on the road. Now, by the time your body as well as your bank account is ready for your next bike, you will really gonna appreciate the performance of the new bike. So that's all about the RX200. Thank you very much, and if you have any other questions about this bike in particular, you can drop in the comment box below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up.